Hey, hi everyone, and welcome back to the Food for Thought channel. I'm Gordon. As you see, I'm back out with the chickens. I thought it was about time I took some of this compost out and put it into my beds. So basically, what I'm doing is turning over the stuff. It's mainly wood chips and leaves, and then obviously some straw that I put on top when we got snow. We're only a few days away from Christmas now, and we've got a snowfall warning for tomorrow. So I thought I'll take the opportunity and get some of this out and replace it with some of the sawdust and shavings that we've got from inside the coop. That's where obviously when they're up in their roost, and then I can just turn it over and whatnot. But it's really thick. So what I do over the winter time, I'll gradually lower that down by bringing it out here, so they can dig it in, it can compost down, and then I take it, and you can just smell the earth, and I dig it into my beds now. So come springtime, it's all beautiful and composted down. It's all ready for the new planting season to go. So anyway, while I'm at it, I may as well go over some of the chickens, and I'll talk about some of the breeds that I have. These white ones here with the black red collar and tail, and these are light Sussex. These basically come from England. Well, the breed does. They're great. These are all dual-purpose birds that we have. They are absolutely fantastic. They're so docile, and that's why we spent weeks planning out what we'd actually do, and which ones we would actually have for our flock. Because you can go and get some really prolific egg layers, but they're flighty and they don't come near you and all that sort of stuff. Whereas these girls, they're all lovely and calm, and even the rooster, he's never a problem. He doesn't like getting picked up, but he's a really good rooster. He protects them and all that sort of stuff. So our sort of golden coloured ones that are buff Orpingtons. Just see, well, they've all gone inside now, but the other ones that we've got barred rocks, Plymouth barred rocks, or barred Plymouth rocks rather. They are this one here. So there's a black and a white sort of silvery kind of bars, and then the black ones that were around here earlier. They're a bit. They stick to themselves. They're not too forward in coming close at the moment. The black ones are black Australorps. Once again, they've got a wonderful temperament. They all have, and these are all perfect for my climate. So they're really winter hardy, because we can get some down to -20, that kind of stuff around here. Tend not to get much more than that, and even at -20, we don't get that very long. Today it's like almost 10 degrees. It's like a beautiful spring day. It's crazy that come the 21st, which is just a couple of days away, on Monday. This is so tomorrow. That's the first day of winter, and it's like I could be working out here in a t-shirt. It's really beautiful. So anyway, yes, back to the soil. Every time. That's why one of the reasons I got the chickens was to be able to get beautiful compost. So everything from the gardens, we've normally, in the last few years, we've been here for 3 years now, 2 years, whatever. We've got a whole bunch of trees around here, and all the leaves we dump in here. Whereas before I had the chickens, I would always have to take them away and take them to the dump. Now we just put them in here, and they go through it looking for all the bugs, and this is why I keep on digging it over. It helps loosen up a bit and lets air into it and the moisture, but it also allows them to keep them busy and scratch it, and they'll just scratch it and then trample all this down again, and then I just go dig it back up. The straw I use for covering it over when the snow comes, because they don't really particularly like walking on snow too much. They will if you put the food out here. So all my scratch and corn and all that sort of stuff, I feed them out here. They've got their feeding areas in there, two buckets, one inside the coop and one inside the outdoor kind of covered part of the run. So their main food is there. I do non-GMO. I don't do organic, but I do non-GMO. So anyway, what I'm going to do, so I've dug all this over, and I'm just going to go back and forward and do some the compost. So this is basically, it's a shredded pine. So this is basically, I did the outside at the same time as I did the inside. So this is exactly the same age as that stuff. So this is the exact same age. So these are the black ones. These are the black ocelots, my barred rocks. So you can see that you have to have rain. If you don't get any water, it won't break down. But as soon as I start doing all this way, they are so inquisitive birds. I never thought I would actually love having the chickens as much as I do. We just love it. My wife, she's just so much into it now. At the beginning, it was like, oh, we'll get half a dozen of them. We'll just have a tiny little coop and we'll just see what we do. We now have 15. We had 16. One died. But we're actually now saying, right, okay, we need more birds. We sell the eggs. I work to neighbours and all that sort of stuff, and we just can't keep up. We get about 6 a day. The young ones are just starting to lay now, especially the barred rocks. They're laying. The ocelots, not yet, but they won't be far away. Maybe in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But all the other ones, these were all born last February, so they're not even a year old yet. But if you have the opportunity to get a handful of birds, check your local ordinance, because they change all the time. Some cities actually allow to maybe have half a dozen or 3 birds or something like that. And you can get small coops that are excellent for for having birds, and you can even sit and move it around your property, so they don't destroy one particular patch. But it's a great source of eggs for us. It's a little bit of an income. They basically pay for themselves. The money that we get from here buys all their feed. We had to obviously build the coop, but apart from that, these guys pay for themselves. So it's not like it's coming out of our own pocket. Now, if you're only getting 2 or 3 birds, but you get a massive big sack for $20, that's going to keep 2 or 3 birds busy for a long time. Whereas these guys will go through a sack every sort of 2 or 3 weeks. Probably every couple of weeks they'll go through a sack. But they pay for it. So we can't complain. It's not like we're putting our hands in our own pockets and it's like, oh, it's just another animal to feed. The dogs cost more to feed than these girls do. But anyway, so I'm gonna go and have talking. I'm gonna go and put this stuff into my garden. This stuff first is gonna go to where my potatoes will be for next year, but the rest of it I'll dig in and we'll get more into the garden as the winter goes on. So have a nice Christmas, guys, if we don't see you beforehand, and take care. Okay, talk to you later.